Act 5 of The Roaring Girl by Thomas Middleton and Thomas Dekker. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Act the 5th. Scene 1. A street. Enter Jack Dapper, Moll, Sir Beauteous Ganymede, and Sir Thomas Long.
But, prithee, Master Captain Jack, be plain and perspicuous with me. Was it your Meg of Westminster's courage that rescued me from the paltry puttocks indeed?
The valour of my wit, I assure you, sir, fetched you off bravely when you were in the forlorn hope among those desperates. Sir Beauteous Ganymede here and Sir Thomas Long heard that cuckoo, my man Trapdoor, sing the note of your ransom from captivity.
And so, Moll, where's that trap-door?
Hanged, I think, by this time. A justice in this town that speaks nothing but "Make a mittimus, away with him to Newgate," used that rogue like a firework to run upon a line betwixt him and me.
How?
Marry, to lay trains of villainy to blow up my life. I smelt the powder, spied what linstock gave fire to shoot against the poor captain of the galley-foist, and away slid I my man, like a shovel-board shilling. He struts up and down the suburbs, I think, and eats up whores, feeds upon a board's garbage.
Sirrah, Jack Dapper.
What sayest, Tom Long?
Thou hadst a sweet-faced boy, hail fellow with thee, to your little gull. How was he spent?
Troth, I whistled the poor little buzzard off my fist, 'cause when he waited upon me at the ordinaries, the gallants hit me in the teeth still, and said I looked like a painted alderman's tomb, and the boy at my elbow like death's head. Sirrah, Jack. Moll.
What says my little Dapper?
Come, walk and talk,
Moll and I'll be in the midst.
These knights shall have squires' places, belike, then. Well, Dapper, what say you?
Sirrah, Captain. Mad Mary, the gull my own father, Dapper Sir Davy, laid these London boot-haulers, the catch-poles, in ambush to set upon me.
Your father? Away, Jack.
By the tassels of this handkercher, 'tis true. And what was his warlike stratagem, think you? He thought, because a wicker cage tames a nightingale, a lousy prison could make an ass of me.
A nasty plot.
Ay, as though a counter, which is a park in which all these wild beasts of the city run head by head, could tame me.
Yonder comes my Lord Noland.
Enter Lord Noland.
Save you, my lord.
Well met, gentlemen all, good Sir Beauteous Ganymede, Sir Thomas Long. And how does Mr. Dapper?
Thanks, my lord.
No tobacco, my lord?
No faith, Jack.
My Lord Noland, will you go to Pimlico with us? We're making a boon voyage to that nappy land of spice cakes.
Here's such a merry going, I could find in my heart to sail to the world's end with such company. Come, gentlemen, let's on.
Here's most amorous weather, my lord.
Amorous weather?
Amorous weather.
Is not amorous a good word?
They walk. Enter Trapdoor, disguised as a poor soldier with a patch over one eye, and Tearcat, all in tatters.
Shall we set upon the infantry, these troops of foot? Zoons, yonder comes Moll, my whorish master and mistress. Would I had her kidneys between my teeth.
I had rather have a cow heel.
Zoons, I'm so patched up she cannot discover me. Wheel on.
A la coraggio, then.
Good your honours and worships, enlarge the ears of commiseration, and let the sound of a hoarse military organ-pipe penetrate your pitiful bowels, to extract out of them so many small drops of silver as may give a hard straw-bed lodging to a couple of maimed soldiers.
Where are you maimed?
In both our nether limbs.
Come, Dapper, let's give him something. Lass, poor men, what money have you? By my troth, I love a soldier with all my soul.
Stay. Where have you served?
In any part of the Low Countries?
Not in the Low Countries, if it please your manhood, but in Hungary, against the Turk, at the siege of Belgrade.
Who served there with you, sirrah?
Many Hungarians, Moldavians, Wallachians, and Transylvanians, with some Sclavonians, and retiring home, sir, the Venetian galleys took us prisoners, yet freed us and suffered us to beg up and down the country.
You have ambled all over Italy, then?
Oh, sir, from Venice to Roma, Vecchia, Bologna, Romagna, Bologna, Modena, Piacenza, and Toscana, with all her cities as Pistoia, Volterra, Montepulciana, Arezzo, with the Sienese and divers others.
Mere rogues! Put spurs to 'em once more.
Thou look'st like a strange creature, a fat butterbox, yet speakest English. What art thou?
Ik, mynheer. Ik ben de roefling Tierkat, den braaf soldado. Ik ben door al Deutschland gereisen. Der Schlem der mir in Visa ihre Wert gab. Ich schlag Strokes und Tom Gott. Das wiegt 100.000, die Valhalla. Frohlich, mynheer.
Here, here, let's be rid of their jobbering.
About to give money.
Not across, Sir Beauteous. You base rogues, I have taken measure of you better than a tailor can, and I'll fit you as you, monster with one eye, have fitted me.
Your worship will not abuse a soldier.
Soldier? Thou deservest to be hanged up by that tongue, which dishonours so noble a profession. Soldier, you skeldering varlet! Hold, stand. There should be a trap-door hereabouts.
Pulls off his patch.
Oh, the balls of these glaziers of mine eyes, shall be shot up and down in any hot piece of service for my invincible mistress.
I did not think there had been such knavery in black patches as now I see.
Oh, sir, he hath been brought up in the Isle of Dogs, and can both fawn like a spaniel and bite like a mastiff, as he finds occasion.
What are you, sirrah, a bird of this feather too?
A man beaten from the wars, sir.
I think so, for you never stood to fight.
What's thy name, fellow soldier?
I am called, by those that have seen my valour, Tierkat.
Tierkat?
A mere whipjack, and that is, in the commonwealth of rogues, a slave that can talk of sea-fight, name all your chief pirates, discover more countries to you than either the Dutch, the Spanish, the French, or English ever found out, yet indeed all his service is by land, and that is to rob a fair or some such venturous exploit. Tierkat! Foot, sirrah, I have your name now. I remember me in my book of horners, horns for the thumb, you know how.
No, indeed, Captain Maul, for I know you by sight. I am no such nipping Christian, but a monder upon pad, I confess. And meeting with honest trapdoor here, whom you had cashiered from bearing arms, out at elbows, under your colours, I instructed him rudiments of roguery, and by my map made him sail over any country you can name, so that now he can maunder better than myself.
So then, trapdoor, thou art turned soldier now?
Alas, sir, now there's no wars. 'Tis the safest course of life I could take.
I hope, then, you can cant, for by your cudgels, you, sirrah, are an upright man.
As any walks the highway, I assure you.
And Tierkat, what are you? A wild rogue, an angler, or a ruffler?
Brother to this upright man, flesh and blood. Ruffling Tierkat is my name, and a ruffler is my style, my title, my profession.
Sirrah, where's your doxy? Halt not with me.
Doxy Mall? What's that?
His wench.
My doxy? I have by the Salomon a doxy that carries a kinchin mort in her slate at her back, besides my dell, and my dainty wild dell, with all whom I'll tumble this next dark man's in the strummel, and drink Ben Boos, and eat a fat gruntling cheat, a cackling cheat, and a quacking cheat.
Here's old cheating.
My doxy stays for me in a bowsing ken, brave captain.
He says his wench stays for him in an ale-house. You are no pure rogues.
Pure rogues? No, we scorn to be pure rogues. But if you come to our lieb ken or our stelling ken, you shall find neither him nor me a queer guffin.
So, sir, no churl of you.
No, but a Ben Cove, a brave cove, a gentry coffin.
Call you this canting?
Zounds! I'll give a schoolmaster 50 a week, and teach me this pedlar's French.
Do but stroll, sir. Half a harvest with us, sir, and you shall gabble your bellyful.
Come, you rogue, cant with me.
Well said, Moll. Cant with her, sirrah, and you shall have money, else not a penny.
I'll have a bout if she please.
Come on, sirrah.
Ben Mort, shall you and I heave a bow, mill a ken or nip a bung, and then we'll couch a hogshead under the ruffmans, and then you shall whop with me, and I'll niggle with you.
Out, you damned impudent rascal.
Cut better wids and hold your fambles and your stamps.
Nay, nay, Moll, why art thou angry? What was his gibberish?
Marry this, my lord, says he. Ben Mort, good wench, shall you and I heave a booth, mill a ken, or nip a bung? Shall you and I rob a house, or cut a purse?
Very good.
And then we'll couch a hogshead under the ruffmans, and then we'll lie under a hedge.
That was my desire, captain, as 'tis fit a soldier should lie.
And there you shall whop with me, and I'll niggle with you, and that's all?
Nay, nay, Moll. What's that, Wap?
Nay, teach me what niggling is. I'd fain be niggling.
Whopping and niggling is all one. The rogue my man can tell you.
'Tis fadoodling, if it please you.
This is excellent. One fit more. Good Moll.
Come, you rogue, sing with me.
A gauge of Ben Rum booze in a boozing can of Rumville.
It's better than a castor, peck, panum, lap, or poplar, which we mill in dews of ill.
Oh, I would live all the light mens, oh, I would live all the dark mens, by the Salomon under the ruffmans, by the Salomon and the Hartmans,
and scour the queer cramp ring, and couch till the palliard docked my dell, so my boozy nap might skew rum booze well.
Avast to the pad, let us bing, avast to the pad, let us bing.
Fine knaves in faith.
The grating of 10 new cartwheels and the gruntling of 500 hogs coming from Rumford Market cannot make a worse noise than this canting language does my ears. Pray, my Lord Noland, let's give these soldiers their pay.
Agreed. And let them march.
Here, Moll.
Gives money.
Now that I see you are stalled to the rogue, and not ashamed of your professions, my Lord Noland here, and these gentlemen, bestows upon you two 2 boards and a half. That's 2 shillings 6pence.
Thanks to your lordship.
Thanks, heroical captain.
Away.
We shall cut Ben wids of your masters and mistress-ship wheresoever we come.
You'll maintain, sirrah, the old justice's plot to his face?
Else try me on the cheats, hang me.
Be sure you meet me there.
Without any more maundering I'll do it. Follow, brave tear-cat.
I pray, secours. Let us go, mouse. Exeunt trapdoor and tear-cat.
Moll, what was in that canting song?
Troth, my lord, only a praise of good drink, the only milk which these wild beasts love to suck. And thus it was. A rich cup of wine, oh, it is juice divine, more wholesome for the head than meat, drink, or bread, to fill my drunken pate. With that I'd sit up late, by the heels would I lie, under a lousy hedge die. Let a slave have a pull at my whore, so I be full of that precious liquor, and a parcel of such stuff, my lord, not worth the opening.
Enter a cut-purse, very gallant, with 4 or 5 others, one having a wand.
What gallant comes yonder?
Mas, I think I know him. 'Tis one of Cumberland.
Shall we venture to shuffle in amongst yon heap of gallants and strike?
'Tis a question whether there be any silver shells amongst them, for all their satin outsides.
Let's try.
Pox on him! A gallant? Shadow me, I know him. 'Tis one that cumbers the land indeed. If he swim near to the shore of any of your pockets, look to your purses.
Is it possible?
This brave fellow is no better than a foist.
Foist? What's that?
A diver with 2 fingers. A pickpocket. All his trains study the figging law, that's to say cutting of purses and foisting. One of them is a nip. I took him once at the 2-penny gallery at the Fortune. Then there's a cloyer, or Snap, that dogs any new brother in that trade, and Snaps will have half in any booty. He with the wand is both a stale, whose office is to face a man of the streets while shells are drawn by another, and then with his black conjuring rod in his hand, he, by the nimbleness of his eye and a juggling stick, will, in cheapening a piece of plate at a goldsmith's stall, make 4 or 5 rings mount from the top of his cadises, and, as if it were at leap-frog, they skip into his hand presently.
Zoons, we are smoked!
Ha!
We are boiled! Pox on her! See, Moll, the roaring drob!
All the diseases of 16 hospitals boil her! Away!
Bless you, sir.
And you, good sir?
Does not ken me, man?
No, trust me, sir.
Heart, there's a knight to whom I'm bound for many favours lost his purse at the last new play of the Swan. 7 angels in't. Make it good, your best. Do you see? No more.
A synagogue shall be called Mistress Mary, disgrace me not. Pacus palabros, I will conjure for you. Farewell.
Exit with his companions.
Did not I tell you, my lord?
I wonder how thou camest to the knowledge of these nasty villains.
And why do the foul mouths of the world call thee Moll Cutpurse? A name, methinks, damned and odious.
Dare any step forth to my face and say, I have ta'en thee doing so, Moll? I must confess, in younger days, when I was apt to stray, I have sat amongst such adders, seen their stings, as any here might, and in full playhouses watched their quick-diving hands to bring to shame such rogues, and in that stream met an ill name. When next, my lord, you spy any one of those, so he be in his art a scholar, question him, tempt him with gold to open the large book of his close villainies, and you yourself shall cant better than poor Moll can, and know more laws of cheaters, lifters, nips, foists, puggards, curbers, with all the devil's blackguard, than is fit should be discovered to a noble wit. I know they have their orders, offices, circuits and circles unto which they are bound to raise their own damnation in.
How dost thou know it?
As you do. I show it you. They to me show it. Suppose, my lord, you were in Venice.
Well?
If some Italian pander there would tell you all the close tricks of courtesans, would not you hearken to such a fellow?
Yes.
And here, being come from Venice to a friend most dear that were to travel thither, you would proclaim your knowledge in those villainies to save your friend from their quick danger. Must you have a black ill name because ill things you know? Good troth, my lord, I am made Moll Cutpurse so. How many are whores and small ruffs and still looks? How many chaste whose names fill slanders books? Were all men cuckolds, whom gallants in their scorns call so, we should not walk for goring horns. Perhaps for my mad going some reprove me. I please myself, and care not else who loves me.
A brave mind, Moll, if faith.
Come, my lord. Shall's to the ordinary?
Ay, 'tis noon, sure.
Good my lord, let not my name condemn me to you or to the world. A fencer, I hope, may be called a coward. Is he so for that? If all that have ill names in London were to be whipped and to pay but 12 a piece to the beadle, I would rather have his office than a constable's.
So would I, Captain Moll. 'Twere a sweet tickling office, if faith.
Exeunt. Scene 2. A garden attached to Sir Alexander Wengrave's house. Enter Sir Alexander Wengrave, Gossock, Greenwit, and others.
My son marry a thief, that impudent girl, whom all the world stick their worst eyes upon.
How will your care prevent it?
'Tis impossible. They marry close. They're gone, but none knows whither.
Oh, gentlemen, when has a father's heartstrings held out so long from breaking?
Enter servant.
Now, what news, sir?
They were met upon the water an hour since, sir, putting in towards the sluice.
The sluice? Come, gentlemen, 'tis Lambeth works against us.
Exit servant.
And that Lambeth joins more mad matches than your 6 wet towns twixt that and Windsor Bridge, where fairs lie soaking.
Delay no time, sweet gentlemen, to Blackfriars. We'll take a pair of oars and make after 'em.
Enter trapdoor.
Your son and that bold masculine ramp my mistress are landed now at Tower.
Hoida, at Tower?
I heard it now reported.
Which way, gentlemen, shall I bestow my care? I'm drawn in pieces betwixt deceit and shame.
Enter Sir Guy Fitzallard.
Sir Alexander, you are well met, and most rightly served. My daughter was a scorn to you.
Say not so, sir.
A very abject she, poor gentlewoman. Your house has been dishonoured. Give you joy, sir, of your son's Gascoigne bride. You'll be a grandfather shortly to a fine crew of roaring sons and daughters. 'Twill help to stock the suburbs passing well, sir.
Oh, play not with the miseries of my heart. Wounds should be dressed and healed, not vexed, or left wide open to the anguish of the patient, and scornful air let in. Rather let pity and advice charitably help to refresh 'em.
Who'd place his charity so unworthily, like one that gives alms to a cursing beggar? Had I but found one spark of goodness in you towards my deserving child, which then grew fond of your son's virtues, I had eased you now. But I perceive both fire of youth and goodness are raked up in the ashes of your age, else no such shame should have come near your house, nor such ignoble sorrow touch your heart.
If not for worth, for pity's sake, assist me.
You urge a thing past sense. How can he help you? All his assistance is as frail as ours, full as unconcerned where's the place that holds 'em. One brings us water news. Then comes another with a full-charged mouth like a culverin's voice, and he reports the Tower. Whose sounds are truest?
In vain you flatter him, Sir Alexander.
I flatter him? Gentlemen, you wrong me grossly.
He does it well, in faith.
Both news are false, of Tower or water. They took no such way yet.
Oh, strange! Hear you this, gentlemen? Yet more plunges.
They're nearer than you think for, yet more close than if they were further off.
How am I lost in these distractions?
For your speeches, gentlemen, in taxing me for rashness, for you all, I will engage my state to half his wealth, nay, to his son's revenues, which are less, and yet nothing at all till they come from him, that I could, if my will stuck to my power, prevent this marriage yet, nay, banish her for ever from his thoughts, much more his arms.
Slack me not this goodness, though you heap upon me mountains of malice and revenge hereafter. I'll willingly resign up half my state to him, so he would marry the meanest drudge I hire.
He talks impossibilities, and you believe 'em.
I talk no more than I know how to finish. My fortunes else are his that dares stake with me. The poor young gentleman I love and pity, and to keep shame from him, because the spring of his affection was my daughter's first, till his frown blasted all, do but estate him in those possessions which your love and care once pointed out for him, that he may have room to entertain fortunes of noble birth, where now his desperate wants casts him upon her. And if I do not, for his own sake chiefly, rid him of this disease that now grows on him, I'll forfeit my whole state before these gentlemen.
Troth, but you shall not undertake such matches. We'll persuade so much with you.
Here's my ring.
Gives ring.
He will believe this token. For these gentlemen I will confirm it fully. All those lands my first love lotted him, he shall straight possess in that refusal.
If I change it not, change me into a beggar.
Are you mad, sir?
'Tis done.
Will you undo yourself by doing, and show a prodigal trick in your old days?
'Tis a match, gentlemen.
Aye, aye, sir, aye. I ask no favour. Trust to you for none. My hope rests in the goodness of your son.
Exit.
He holds it up well yet.
Of an old knight, i'faith.
Cursed be the time I laid his first love barren, wilfully barren, that before this hour had sprung forth fruits of comfort and of honour. He loved the virtuous gentlewoman.
Enter Moll in her male dress.
Life, here's Moll.
Jack?
How dost thou, Jack?
How dost thou, gallant?
Impudence, where's my son?
Weakness, go look him.
Is this your wedding gown?
This man talks monthly. Hot broth and a dark chamber for the night. I see he'll be stark mad at our next meeting.
Exit.
Why, sir, take comfort now, there's no such matter. No priest will marry her, sir, for a woman, whiles that shapes on, and it was never known. 2 men were married and conjoined in one. Your son hath made some shift to love another.
Whate'er she be, she has my blessing with her. May they be rich and fruitful, and receive like comfort to their issue as I take in them. Has pleased me now, marrying not this, through a whole world he could not choose amiss.
Glad you're so penitent for your former sin, sir.
Say he should take a wench with smock dowry. No portion with her, but her lips and arms.
Why, who thrive better, sir? They have most blessing, though other have more wealth, and least repent. Many that want most know, the most content.
Say he should marry a kind youthful sinner?
Age will quench that. Any offence but theft and drunkenness, nothing but death can wipe away. Their sins are green, even when their heads are grey. Nay, I despair not now. My heart's cheered, gentlemen. No face can come unfortunately to me.
Re-enter servant.
Now, sir, your news.
Your son with his fair bride is near at hand.
Fair may their fortunes be.
Now you're resolved, sir. It was never she.
I find it in the music of my heart.
Enter Sebastian Wingrave, leading in Moll in her female dress, and masked. And Sir Guy Fitzallard.
See where they come.
A proper lusty presence, sir.
Now has he pleased me right. I always counselled him to choose a goodly, personable creature. Just of her pitch was my first wife, his mother.
Before I dare discover my offence, I kneel for pardon.
Kneels.
My heart gave it thee before thy tongue could ask it. Rise, thou hast raised my joy to greater height than to that seat where grief dejected it. Both welcome to my love and care for ever. Hide not my happiness too long, all's pardoned. Here are our friends. Salute her, gentlemen.
They unmask her.
Heart, who's this? Moll?
Moll?
Oh, my reviving shame! Is't I must live to be struck blind? Be it the work of sorrow before age take in hand?
Darkness and death, have you deceived me thus? Did I engage my whole estate for this?
You ask no favour, and you shall find as little. Since my comforts play false with me, I'll be as cruel to thee as grief to fathers' hearts.
Why, what's the matter with you? Lest too much joy should make your age forgetful. Are you too well? Too happy?
With a vengeance.
Methinks you should be proud of such a daughter, as good a man as your son.
Oh, monstrous impudence!
You had no note before, an unmarked knight. Now all the town will take regard on you, and all your enemies fear you for my sake. You may pass where you list through crowds most thick, and come off bravely with your purse unpicked. You do not know the benefits I bring with me. No cheat dares work upon you with thumb or knife, while you have a roaring girl to your son's wife.
A devil rampant!
Have you so much charity yet to release me of my last rash bargain, and I'll give in your pledge?
No, sir, I stand to it. I'll work upon advantage, as all mischiefs do upon me.
Content, bear witness all then, his are the lands, and so contention ends. Here comes your son's bride, twixt two noble friends.
Enter Lord Nolan and Sir Beauteous Ganymede, with Mary Fitzalard between them, Gallipot, Tiltyard, Openwork, and their wives.
Now are you gulled as you would be. Thank me for it. I'd a forefinger in't.
Forgive me, father. Though there be before your eyes my sorrow feigned, this still was she for whom true love complained.
Blessings eternal and the joys of angels begin your peace here to be signed in heaven. How short my sleep of sorrow seems now to me, to this eternity of boundless comforts, that finds no want but utterance and expression. My lord, your office here appears so honourably, so full of ancient goodness, grace, and worthiness, I never took more joy in sight of man than in your comfortable presence now.
Nor I more delight in doing grace to virtue than in this worthy gentlewoman, your son's bride, noble Fitzalard's daughter, to whose honour and modest fame I am a servant vowed. So is this knight.
Your loves make my joys proud. Bring forth those deeds of land my care laid ready.
Exit servant, who presently returns with deeds.
And which, old knight, thy nobleness may challenge, joined with thy daughter's virtues, whom I prize now as dearly as that flesh I call mine own. Forgive me, worthy gentlewoman, 'twas my blindness. When I rejected thee, I saw thee not. Sorrow and wilful rashness grew like fumes over the eyes of judgment. Now so clear, I see the brightness of thy worth appear.
Duty and love may I deserve in those, and all my wishes have a perfect close.
That tongue can never err the sound so sweet. Here, honest son, receive into thy hands the keys of wealth, possession of those lands which my first care provided. They're thine own. Heaven give thee a blessing with them. The best joys that can in worldly shapes to man betide are fertile lands and a fair fruitful bride, of which I hope thou'lt sped.
I hope so too, sir.
Father and son, I ha' done you simple service here.
For which thou shalt not part, Mole, unrequited.
Thou'rt a mad girl, and yet I cannot now condemn thee.
Condemn me? Troth, and you should, sir. I'd make you seek out one to hang in my room. I'd give you the slip at gallows, and cozen the people. Heard you this jest, my lord?
What is it, Jack?
He was in fear his son would marry me, but never dreamt that I would ne'er agree.
Why, thou hadst a suitor once, Jack. When wilt marry?
Who, I, my lord? I'll tell you when, i' faith. When you shall hear gallants void from sergeants' fear, honesty and truth unslandered, woman manned but never pandered, cheaters booed but not coached, vessels older ere they're broached. If my mind be then not varied, next day following I'll be married.
This sounds like doomsday.
Then were marriage best, for if I should repent, I was soon at rest.
In truth, thou'rt a good wench. I'm sorry now the opinion was so hard I conceived of thee.
Enter trapdoor.
Some wrongs I've done thee.
Aside.
Is the wind there now? 'Tis time for me to kneel and confess first, for fear it come too late and my brains feel it. Upon my paws, I ask you pardon, mistress.
Pardon? For what, sir? What has your rogueship done now?
I've been, from time to time, hired to confound you by this old gentleman.
How?
Pray, forgive him, but may I counsel you, you should never do it. Many a snare to entrap your worship's life have I laid privily, chains, watches, jewels, and when he saw nothing could mount you up, 4 hollow-hearted angels he then gave you, by which he meant to trap you, I to save you.
To which old shame and grief in me cry guilty. Forgive me. Now I cast the world's eyes from me, and look upon thee freely with mine own. I see the most of many wrongs before me, cast from the jaws of envy and her people, and nothing foul but that. I'll never more condemn by common voice, for that's the whore that deceives man's opinion, mocks his trust, cozen's his love, and makes his heart unjust.
Here be the angels, gentlemen. They were given me as a musician. I pursue no pity, follow the law, and you can cuck me, spare not. Hang up my viol by me, and I care not.
So far I'm sorry, I'll thrice double 'em, to make thy wrongs amends. Come, worthy friends, my honourable lord, Sir beauteous Ganymede, and noble Fitzalard, and you, kind gentlewomen, whose sparkling presence are glories set in marriage, beams of society, for all your loves give lustre to my joys. The happiness of this day shall be remembered at the return of every smiling spring. In my time now 'tis born, and may no sadness sit on the brows of men upon that day, but as I am, so all go pleased away.
Exit. Epilogue.
A painter, having drawn with curious art the picture of a woman, every part limned to the life, hung out the piece to sell. People who passed along, viewing it well, gave several verdicts on it. Some dispraised the hair, some said the brows too high were raised, some hit o'er the lips, misliked their colour, some wished her nose were shorter, some the eyes fuller. Others said roses on her cheek should grow, swearing they looked too pale. Others cried no. The workman still, as fault was found, did mend it, in hope to please all. But this work being ended, and hung open at stall, it was so vile, so monstrous, and so ugly, all men did smile at the poor painter's folly. Such, we doubt, is this our comedy. Some perhaps do flout the plot, saying, "'Tis too thin, too weak, too mean." Some for the person will revile the scene, and wonder that a creature of her being should be the subject of a poet, seeing in the world's eye none weighs so light. Others look for all those base tricks published in a book, foul as his brains they flowed from, of cut-purses, of nips and foists, nasty obscene discourses, as full of lies, as empty of worth or wit, for any honest ear or eye unfit. And thus, if we to every brain that's humorous should fashion scenes, we with the painter shall in striving to please all, please none at all. Yet for such faults as either the writer's wit, or negligence of the actors do commit, both crave your pardons. If what both have done cannot full pay your expectation, the roaring girl herself, some few days hence, shall on this stage give larger recompense, which mirth that you may share in herself does woo you, and craves this sign, your hands to beckon her to you.
End of Act 5. End of The Roaring Girl by Thomas Middleton and Thomas Dekker.